Voting is underway in closely watched parliamentary elections in Slovakia that could see the country radically change course on Ukraine. People have been casting their ballots following an election campaign that's resulted in a neck-and-neck race between a former leftist prime minister and pro-Western liberals. Both sides have about 20% support and would require coalition partners to form a government. Former Prime Minister Robert Fico has campaigned on a populist platform calling for an end to Slovakia's robust military support for Ukraine and for closer ties to Moscow.
Out with the new, in with the old. That's what Slovakia's former Prime Minister Robert Fico hopes voters will choose when they go to the polls. He's already led the country twice, and he's promising major changes if he wins a third term in office. No weapons for Ukraine, a veto on Ukrainian NATO membership, and a weakening of anti-Russian sanctions. If Slovaks vote Fico and his left-wing populist Smer party back into power, it would be a dramatic about-face in the country's support for Ukraine. Since the start of Russia's invasion, Bratislava has been one of Kyiv's staunchest supporters, regularly delivering large quantities of ammunition and other military hardware. Slovakia's parliament has also sought to forge political ties with the U.S., declaring it a special partner. However, many Slovaks are skeptical of closer ties to the West. A 2023 survey said 50% of people view the U.S. as a threat. Current President Zuzana Čaputová has warned Slovaks that closer ties to Russia, combined with Kremlin-backed propaganda campaigns, have unleashed what she calls an epidemic of populism and lies, one that could deliver Moscow a new partner in the heart of the EU after Saturday's election.
It's been nearly 20 years since Slovakia joined the EU, and yet it looks like its next leader could be an EU skeptic. Earlier, I talked with Andrzej Matiszak, editor at Pravda, the Slovak newspaper, and asked him how the country had come to this.
Good morning, and thanks for having me. Look, on one hand, you can say this is part of the trend. How many times we have been worried that somebody with surname Le Pen will win the elections in presidential elections in France, in Germany. Basically, hard far-right party, Alternative für Deutschland, is over 20%, polling over 20%. In Italy, you have a far-right government. So various strains of populism. And yes, this is something, unfortunately, Slovaks are listening to those messages, also to the anti-EU message, anti-Americanism, pro-Russian. As it was mentioned in the report, former Prime Minister Fico, free time. In fact, he was free time. A prime minister. So yeah, his rhetoric is quite pro-Russian. But on the other hand, this is also not a big surprise. When he was a prime minister in 2014, when Crimea was annexed, all the time he was saying, I was there with him for many European councils, all the time he was saying sanctions against Russia are useless. Everything then the pro-Russian rhetoric from Mr. Fico would be a huge surprise for me. So yes, people are angry with their lives. There was a very chaotic government before this elections that fall, and now we have a caretaker government. So I think the populists like Mr. Fico are just using and misusing voters.
To what extent could a new Russia-friendly Slovakian government derail EU policy on Ukraine?
This is a very good question, and of course we don't have a perfect answer, because if Fico wins and he will be able to establish the coalition, yes, this coalition will definitely do something probably radically different on Ukraine. But also, I still believe this is at least a bit a part of his rhetoric only, in a sense that, for example, when he says that we are not going to send more weapons and ammunition to Ukraine. We have sent almost everything useful, to be honest. So this is a kind of an easy promise. Yes, my friends in armed forces might disagree with me. We still have something, but nothing that significant as, for example, the mix jets or S-300 system. So, but the problem, of course, is that you need a unanimity at the end in the EU, and if you have somebody like for Hungarian Prime Minister Orban saying sanctions as usual. Suddenly you have somebody like Mr. Fico. Maybe next year, who knows, far right might win elections in Austria. And suddenly you might have a front of some leaders saying, we have to do something about this war to stop it, no matter what. So yes, there is a risk, and I think that we have to carefully follow if Fico's rhetoric, if he wins and he will be able to establish coalition, how this will be in reality.
That is Andrzej Matishak. Many, many thanks to you, sir.